Hello story lovers, welcome to Folks and Tales, your one-stop channel for stories that inspire and lessons that last. In the city of Lagos, located in the southwestern part of Nigeria, lives the young and beautiful elegant lady named Bolu Akinsoye, born into the family of Chief Adekunle and Mrs. Seun Akinsole. Chief Adekunle is a renowned politician of Eko mainland, Lagos, and Mrs. Seun Akinsole is the biggest importer of different kinds of ashoke. Bolu Atife, popularly called Bolu, was the only child of her parents. She was humble, dutiful, and an industrious young lady. Though her parents were wealthy, Bolu never relied on her parents' wealth. She was selfless and treated everyone fairly and equally, irrespective of her status. Bolu had her own business, a boutique, where she sold all kinds of male and female wares. One morning, as Mrs. Akinsoye was planning an auction sale in commemoration of her silver jubilee of her business, the sales girls and boys were sorting different fabrics with tag prices on them, giving a 50% slash from their original prices. Suddenly, Mrs. Alaja Akeredolu, one of Mrs. Akinsoye's business associates, walked in. They have been business associates for over 2 decades, and the relationship had grown from not just business to being very close family friends. The two women exchanged pleasantries, and then Mrs. Akinsoye went further to invite her friend for their anniversary. It was there and then that Mrs. Alaja also made her intentions known to Mrs. Akinsoye. She said in a dear tone, "My coming here today is for so many reasons, but for one most important one. We have been business partners for 2 decades and very close family friends. I am here today to consolidate this relationship with the marriage of my son Akim and your daughter Bolu Atife." Mrs. Akinsoye smiled in amazement and she responded, "That is a very good idea, but I will speak of your intentions to my husband and Bolu." Mrs. Alaja was served the drink by one of the sales representatives. After taking her drink, she got up and told her friend that she would want to take her leave and would be anticipating a positive response. As Mrs. Akinsoye returned home, she did not hesitate to mention her friend's proposal to him. "Greetings, my husband. Do you know that Mrs. Alaja visited me today at the shop? She heard of my auction sales and also needed to get some ashoke for herself. But that wasn't the only thing that brought her. Considering our relationship as business partners and very close family friends, she said she would want to consolidate our relationship with the marriage of her son Akim to our daughter. I didn't give her an answer, but I replied I will discuss it with you first. Also, I used the opportunity to invite her for the anniversary. So, my husband, what do you think?" You see, my wife, that is a brilliant idea. But first we must discuss it with our daughter to seek her consent before any further step is taken. When Bolu returned home from her business, the smile on her parents' faces kept her wondering. Bolu greeted her parents and asked politely, "Daddy, Mommy, why are you people looking so happy? Did we win the lottery?" They both laughed. As Bolu sat down, her mother began, "You're wondering why I and your father are so happy? Well, this is it. Mrs. Alaja was at my shop today. She came to get some ashoke for herself, and most importantly, she said she wants to seal our friendship with the request that you marry her son Akim. But I told her that it's not my decision to make. I will have to speak with you and your father first. But you have to make the decision, and if you're okay with the idea, then you have to start now to know him, because we'll be announcing your engagement ceremony on the silver jubilee anniversary of my business. So, my daughter, what do you say? I know you both want the best for me, but I do not want to be forced into a marriage. I will give it a try, and if I get to like him, then I would accept. But if not, my decision should be respected, replied Bolu to her parents. Bolu's parents accepted her decision on the matter. One evening, Akeem visited Bolu in her house. Akeem, a tall, dark-bearded, young, handsome man, was at the door. As Bolu opened the door, she was lost in thoughts for a moment, as she was caught by Akeem's physical appearance. Then she muttered, Hi, good evening. How can I help you? My name is Akeem, Mrs. Alaja's son. You're welcome. Come in and have a seat. What brings you to our home? Bolu asked. Akeem, looking straight into Bolu's eyes as Bolu sat opposite him, said, I have come to see my beautiful queen and would want to take her out on a date. Bolu got flattered by Akeem's words, but she began to act shy, her voice so soft that she asked, A date? I didn't even know you were coming. I promise I would bring you back home. I just want to spend some time with you. Please don't say no. Bolu smiled. All right, but you'll have to wait for me here while I go upstairs and get ready. And Akeem responded, Anything for you, my queen. Bolu smiled and went up to her room to get ready. Getting to her room, she kept on smiling uncontrollably, and she said to herself, I like him already, and he seems to be a gentleman, and his words have a way of getting to me. She quickly rushed into the bathroom, showered and got ready. As she was ascending the stairs, Akeem stood from his chair and his eyes and hers caught up. And just when she got closer, Akeem was lost in thoughts and said, You look stunning. They giggled and left. Akeem took Bolu to a fancy restaurant and ordered the most expensive meal and drink on their menu. They ate and chatted, and after everything, Akeem drove Bolu home. Bolu and Akeem kept seeing each other for weeks, then months. Bolu was expecting Akeem to stop the nice and caring guy attitude. She wanted to take her time, but Akeem kept surprising her. He would call her every day, sometimes visit her at the house or take her out for dinner and buy her gifts. Bolu became so fond of Akeem and started developing feelings for him. Akeem was indeed a sweet guy and genuinely liked Bolu. One evening, as Bolu and her family were having dinner, Bolu told her parents she would marry Akeem. The parents were confused as they raised their faces to look at Bolu in shock. Bolu repeated her statement. I will marry Akeem. He's a good person and he has been nothing but good, kind, caring and loving towards me. I have also gotten to love him. It's been 8 months since we started, and these 8 months have been the most memorable ones. Looked at her for a moment and nodded their heads and said, If that is your decision, then we are here to support you. The anniversary we've been planning is here already, so we'll make it public on that day. They continued their meal. A day before the silver jubilee anniversary of Mrs. Akinsoye's business, Akeem visited Bolu to help out with preparations. He decorated the house with beautiful and fancy lights and also decorated the stairs with colorful balloons. The following day was the D-Day. Tables were set with assorted kind of drinks, and there was enough to eat continental local dishes, fruit juice, salads, and many more. The DJs were on set, giving cool music suitable for the occasion. Guests were arriving in their luxurious cars and expensive outfits, and Chief and Mrs. Akinsoye were welcoming and exchanging pleasantries with the guests. There was so much merriment, enough to eat and drink. All the guests were having a good time, dancing and chatting. Shortly after, Chief Akinsoye stood up and announced the engagement ceremony of their daughter, Bolu Atife. He thanked all the dignitaries that attended his wife's business anniversary. I want to inform you all about the engagement of my daughter, Bolu, to Hakeem, Mrs. Alaja's son. The engagement ceremony will be taking place 2 weeks from now. You are all invited. Venue of the engagement will be communicated to you all. Once more, I say a big thank you all for coming. Have a wonderful stay. There's enough to eat and drink. Please, feel free. 2 weeks later, the engagement ceremony of Bolu Atife and Hakeem took place. The colors of the day were gold, blue and white. It was indeed a very big occasion where guests enjoyed themselves. There was enough to eat and drink. At the ceremony, Mrs. Akinsoye cried out her eyes as she would miss her only child who would be leaving for London after her marriage ceremony, but was also excited for their union. Her husband, Chief Adekunle Akinsoye, kept patting her and consoling her, reminding her that this was what she ever wished for. 2 weeks after the wedding, Bolu and Hakeem relocated to London for their honeymoon. They lived a very happy life. Hakeem got a job and he was doing well. 17 years later, there was no child. It was becoming an issue. Bolu was disturbed, so they visited several hospitals for tests to find out exactly what the problem was. But all tests came out clean. Nothing was wrong with both of them. They had prayed, fasted, attended several churches, but no results. Bolu Atife wasn't getting any younger, and the pressure kept coming from Hakeem's mom. But each time, Hakeem stood by his wife and kept reassuring his mother that all was going to be well, and that she would carry her grandchildren. It was Bolu and Hakeem's 17th marriage anniversary. They celebrated it in love. Hakeem made sure it was a memorable one for Bolu. He took her to the nicest places in London. They visited the motherless home with a lot of goodies and packages, took pictures with the children and played with them. The following day, while Bolu was in the bathroom, she overheard the conversation between Hakeem and his mother. Hakeem, what has that lady done to you? You're my only son, and it's been 17 years since you got married. No child, not even one. Hakeem, I want you to return to Nigeria immediately. I have found a beautiful girl for you who can bear you children. I don't care how you do it, but I want you in Nigeria soonest. If you don't do as I have said, whatever happens to me is on you. She ended the call. Bolu was so sad when she came out of the bathroom. She pretended like she never heard anything. She saw her husband on the bed looking moody. So Bolu asked, "My husband, what is it? You don't look happy all of a sudden. What is the problem? Is it work? Is something wrong at the office?" Hakeem told her it was nothing. The following morning, Hakeem was getting ready for work, while Bolu was in the kitchen preparing his breakfast. As soon as he was done preparing for work, he said to his wife, "I'm leaving." Bolu was surprised. "Breakfast is ready. Please wait and eat." But Hakeem left without eating. Bolu was worried. She wondered why her husband was behaving in such a manner. He never went to work without eating. "Oh God, please save my marriage," she said. When Hakeem got to the office, his mother's words kept messing with his head. He couldn't focus on work. He got too worried and began to ask himself, what will happen to my wife? If I leave her, she'll be so broken. She's a good woman and doesn't deserve to go through this. But then my mom, I can't let anything happen to her after Dad died. It was difficult for her to move on. No, I can't. If this is her wish, then I must obey it. I would leave for Nigeria tomorrow. When Akim got home, Bolu welcomed him as usual, hugged him and took his bag from him, but something was off, though she kept her peace. After Akim was done showering, he came downstairs for dinner. While they were having dinner, he spilled it out. Bolu, I will be leaving for Nigeria tomorrow morning. I've already booked my tickets. I have an emergency to attend at my mother's company, and once I'm done, I'll be back. Bolu responded, Akim, you call me by my name? You have never called me by my name. No problem, I'll get your luggage ready. Just let me know what and what you need. The next morning, Bolu drove her husband to the airport for his flight. When she got home, she couldn't hold it anymore. She burst into tears. She cried and cried, and immediately she picked up the phone and gave her mother a call. She mentioned to her mother that her marriage was about to crash. I don't know what to do. I overheard Akim and his mother on a phone conversation. She asked him to return to Nigeria. She added that she had found someone else for him. Mom, as I'm speaking to you now, my husband is at the airport and his flight will take off in an hour. Mother, what do I do? Please, my daughter, be calm. Everything happens for a reason, and at this point, I need you to be strong. Whatever the outcome may be, you have to stand by your decision. And whatever decision you take, I and your father are always here to support you. After spending a week in Nigeria, Akim returned to Lagos. His wife was already at the airport waiting for him. When they got home, they both ate and went to bed. Bolu, knowing how tired Akim would be, never brought up any conversation. The following morning, Akim told his wife he would love to have a conversation with her. And Bolu, who already knew what was ready for anything. Akim started by praising her. My beautiful wife, my support system, my rock. I'm blessed to have you. There's only one thing that has come between us, which, is the problem of you not being able to conceive. My mother has requested I pick another wife from Nigeria who can bear her grandchildren. It's not my intentions to hurt you, but I need to grant my mother's wish. She has no one else. I'm all she's got. As Akim was saying all this, Bolu was quiet, waiting for him to finish. Akim, however, thought that Bolu would get angry about the whole thing. I have heard you, Bolu responded, and I will not be a second wife. Neither do I wish to come between you and your mother. I would rather leave. Bolu went into her room, packed all her belongings. The next day, she left for Nigeria. Reaching the airport, everything seemed so different and strange in Bolu's eyes. Nigeria was looking so developed. She could barely remember the road leading to her house. At some point, it was necessary for her to ask for direction. She stopped and beckoned on a young man to direct her to Chief Akinsoye's house. The man was nice to her and took the time to direct her to her father's house. On getting to the house, Bolu went straight to the door and knocked. Her mother opened the door and alerted her husband that her daughter was back. Immediately, Chief Akinsoye left what he was doing and came to welcome his daughter, who had been in London for many years now. Bolu explained everything to her parents, and her parents encouraged her to be calm. Don't worry. Everything will make sense in due time. God will perfect everything for us, her mother urged her. Now, go to your room, shower and come down, let's have dinner together. Bolu got back on her feet again and went back to her business. One fateful day, as Bolu was returning from her business, she was robbed. Just when they were trying to take her phone and her purse, a man passing by came to her rescue. Bolu was on the floor shaking after the robbery. The man approached her and held her to himself. When Bolu was calm and looked at the man who saved her, she found out it was the same man who helped her with direction on her way to the house from the airport. And now, he saved me the second time. These thoughts were running through her mind, and she stood up from the ground and thanked the man for coming to her aid. I'm Bolu Watife Akinsoye by name, and this is the second time you've helped me. This time, you didn't just help me, you saved my life. Please, I would love you to join my family for dinner tomorrow at my house. Of course, you already know the place. It's my little way of saying thank you. Please don't reject my offer. The young man responded, I'm Tunde Bolaji. The pleasure is mine. I'm glad I was able to help. And about the invitation, I will be there. Bolu brought out her complimentary card and gave it to the man. Please call me. I will be expecting you tomorrow. Evening of the following day, Tunde arrived Bolu's house. When he got there, he knocked the door. Bolu rushed to the door and opened up for Tunde to come in. Welcome. Please make yourself comfortable. My parents will be here shortly. As the dining was set for dinner, they all gathered at the table. Bolu started. Father, Mother, this is Tunde, the young man who saved me from the robbers. Her parents welcomed him as they exchanged pleasantries and had their dinner. When Tunde was about to leave, Chief Akinsoye came out and offered Tunde an envelope in appreciation for saving his daughter. Please, accept this from us. This is our way of saying thank you for saving our daughter. If you don't mind, and if you find it befitting, you can also come work for me and my company as one of my staff. Tunde was so excited, fell on his feet and thanked Chief Akinsoye and his entire family. Tunde became very close to the Chief Akinsoye's family. He was humble and dedicated to accept the job. Not only did he focus on his job, he also made time for Bolu. On weekends, Tunde would take Bolu shopping. Months passed and their bond became stronger. The feelings at this point was mutual. Bolu's parents noticed that their daughter had gotten so attached and fond of Tunde and was always happy whenever she was around him. Her parents also liked Tunde, and they kept a positive mind that something good would come out of the relationship between Tunde and their daughter. A few years later, Tunde proposed to Bolu and they got married. After their marriage, they decided they would remain in Nigeria. After a few months after their marriage, Bolu started experiencing some body changes. She told her husband about how she was feeling and they decided to visit the hospital for a medical checkup. After proper examination, the doctor broke the news. Your wife is in perfect condition and there's nothing wrong with her. But the good news is that she's 4 weeks pregnant, and that is why she has been feeling the way she's feeling. The doctor advised Bolu to rest well and maintain a good diet with lots of fruits. Bolu was quiet and tears rolled down her chin. In her mind, she thanked God for answering her prayers. She remembered what she went through in her previous marriage. As they left the hospital, Tunde drove straight to his in-laws' house to break the news to them. You didn't tell us you were coming, said Bolu's father. I hope everything is fine. Your daughter is fine, although she has been experiencing some body changes lately, so we visited the doctor, who said she's 4 weeks pregnant. Bolu's mother jumped as she couldn't hold her joy. Her Her father was happy too. 9 months later, Bolu gave birth to a bouncing baby girl, and everyone leaped for joy. The news spread so fast that all those who knew about Bolu's first marriage were happy for her. Akeem and his new wife were still battling with having children. Akeem was not happy with the situation, especially as it made him lose the person he loved. Years later, it was discovered through several tests that the problem was from Akeem. Miss Alaja was so devastated. She could not face Bolu and her family as her son's second wife spread the secret about Akeem's problem. Life can be unfair sometimes, but as humans, we should not give up on life. Hope and courage help to overcome. Dear story lovers, please tell me what you learned from this story. Drop them in the comment section below. I would love to read them. Thanks for watching, story lovers. Again, this is Folks and Tales. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a big thumbs up. Comment and share this video to other story lovers. Also, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we upload the video. We will be uploading intriguing and captivating stories multiple times per week. You don't want to miss them. Until my next one, peace and love.